even if you have a big idea, if you can't land that big idea with your audience, you really don't have a big idea.
Microsoft's purpose is in service of your purpose.
And again, 2024 is the year that partners come out as the leading edge of the spear on finding this buyer intent.
You show up to every meeting and demonstrate why you are relevant.
Every day I have to force myself to make sure that I'm taking one step ahead in terms of my own learning.
That flywheel of success is where you will build momentum, and that momentum will continue, and then you feed into the other systems to say, this is what we did. This is how we did it together.
Welcome back to The Ultimate Guide to Partnering. I'm Vince Menzione, your host, and today I'm delighted to welcome in the studio someone that I've got to work very closely with over the last several years. Ashley Vogstad is the CEO and founder of Transcends, a marketing agency going places in the Microsoft ecosystem. Ash has been working with us for quite some time and recently participated in a live event that we held here in Boca Raton, Florida, spotlighting some of the work that she does with partners, award-winning partners, to help drive their success. I invited Ash in the studio today for a discussion on what it takes to be an award-winning partner. Ash, welcome to the podcast.
Vince, it's so great to be here.
It is so great to have you. My voice is probably a little rusty today. We were here in the studio yesterday, and with an amazing group of leaders, some of which are organizations that you work with and some that I work with as well. And, you know, I'm fascinated around this conversation. As you know, we've interviewed leaders from the tech giants. We've interviewed award-winning partners, and we had some of those award-winning partners up on stage with you, what I like to call pinnacle partners, because of their rise to the top, I guess is what I would say. I want to take our listeners through a little bit about you, though, for those of them that don't know you and the work that you do. Can you spend a few moments on you, your background, Transcends, and the mission of your organization?
Yeah, of course, Vince. Thank you so much. And I just want to say you have been such an incredible friend and mentor. These last couple years partnering with Ultimate Partner has really been a career highlight. And I couldn't be more excited to see where both of our organizations go in the next few years.
I'm excited.
I am very excited. So a little bit about me. I mean, I'm often asked this question of, Ash, did you always know you were going to be an entrepreneur? And the answer is absolutely not. It has not been a straight line. But when I think about it and reflect back, there is a narrative there. And I think about the first business I started. You probably don't know this.
I don't. Take us back.
I was 11 years old, and it was a Kids for Saving Earth Club.
I love it.
And I think about these entrepreneurial moments throughout the last couple decades.
Yes.
And one of the experiences that I think afforded me so much of the experience that has carried me forward is really volunteer work. And one of the organizations, you know, the thing about volunteering is that they're under-resourced teams.
Yes.
So as a volunteer, especially early in career, you're afforded these opportunities to go well above and beyond your pay grade.
You're bootstrapping.
Yes, absolutely. Sink or swim. You're
Yes.
thrown into the deep end. And I've found, I think one of the reasons I like entrepreneurialism is that you're given this opportunity to cut your own path and make your own mistakes.
Yeah, very much so.
And in volunteering, I even had an opportunity to work with His Holiness the Dalai Lama.
I am fascinated by that. I mean, what was that like? What was that experience like?
Humbling. And also on the flip side, hectic. As a young person, I was leading marketing, which was more in my wheelhouse, but also crisis communications, which I had never done before. And it was my first experience of a digital protest. So we had a hashtag, Be the Village. And unfortunately, we had protest groups overtake the hashtag online.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow.
We had to set up emergency comms and get centers of people going to balance out and bring the positivity back into the conversation.
Fascinating. So fast forward us.
Microsoft. Let's talk Microsoft.
Well, take us how did you start Transcends? What was the genesis of that moment?
So we're here celebrating our 5-year anniversary, actually.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Big milestone. And, it was back in 2016 or maybe 2017, I started working somewhat as a CMO for hire for different Microsoft partners. And that was the launch of AppSource, actually.
Oh, yes.
So Marketplace, Azure
Yep.
Marketplace, AppSource. And we created some of the first Power BI custom visuals for download that were available in AppSource. And shocking to us, we received 600,000 downloads of
Wow.
these Power BI custom visuals. 15,000 of those people opted in to receive marketing communications. And we were able to create a funnel and ultimately build a Sitecore practice. At the time, Sitecore was Microsoft's #1 Azure consuming
Yes.
partner that really changed the face of that business and also got the attention of Microsoft. So my first ever client in my agency 5 years ago was Microsoft New Zealand.
That is that was the genesis of New Zealand. We'll talk a little bit more about New Zealand because you spent a lot of time there.
Beautiful country.
Yes. So tell us about where your vision is for Transcends and maybe a little bit about what Transcends does as an organization.
Yeah, great. Our vision is to help 1 billion people feel more connected. The feel part is very important to me. And the way that we're approaching that is through our values. And maybe just a couple of those. One is always be learning. And I think about you, Vince. When you get up on stage, you often talk about Satya Nadella's story and how he transformed Microsoft.
Yes.
One of the things he did was bring in mindset and the work of Carol Dweck, I think it is.
Well, Carol Dweck's book.
Carol Dweck's book.
Which was a mindset. And then also Dr. Michael Gervais.
Yes.
Who's been on the podcast now 4 times. We're hoping to get him down here in Boca. We haven't been able to get him in the studio yet, but we hope to have him on again this year.
It's coming.
Yes.
It's coming. So mindset, that's our always be learning value. Digital freedom. We're a remote first business. We're incredibly proud to be female funded and female founded as an organization. And lastly would be conscious connection. And that's really about kind of tied into the feel part of our vision. Conscious connection manifests as our value of customer service. We really believe in excellence in customer service. And also inside the company with how we treat our colleagues is incredibly important to us.
Fantastic. We are thrilled to announce our partnership with InPartner Software, the world's leading provider of partner management technologies. Serving over 4 million partners globally, InPartner excels in delivering cutting-edge solutions for partner relationship management and partner marketing automation. Their robust platform offers essential tools like program compliance tracking, customizable partner journeys, and comprehensive business planning. These features empower partner teams to swiftly transition from program design to achieving maximum value. InPartner is dedicated to supporting partner ecosystems everywhere and continues to innovate with new modules like Analytics Studio, designed to help track and maximize the ROI of your partner program. For more information, visit InPartner.com. We got introduced actually right after I held my first event. I had a Microsoft partner, one of the award-winning partners, reach out to me and said, "You need to meet Ashley Vogstad." And that was the genesis of our getting to know each other and work together. But I happen to know you do quite a bit of work. We talk about this Pinnacle partnership. You've done quite a bit of work here with these partners. And I was hoping today, because partners all crave to be that top of the pyramid, that pinnacle partner, that less than that 1/10 of 1% that make it to the top as a top Microsoft partner. What do you do with those organizations that is maybe unique and different? And what can our listeners and viewers watching today learn about what you do and how they can achieve their greatest results?
Getting to the very top. I mean, another one of our values is to be competitive, and we certainly are competitive as an organization. We have never submitted our track record of submitting partners for awards. We have never not had one of our clients win or finalize.
That is fantastic. That is incredible, actually.
We are selective around who we work with, and then it comes down to our system, and definitely that system is a huge part. So if I just gave maybe a couple takeaways from that. I will say the Microsoft Partner of the Year award announcements are coming soon. Not yet.
Coming soon.
I think we'll have some celebrations to do at that time, but we've got a few more weeks to wait on the announcements.
So we're embargoed right now. We can't talk about anything.
Not quite yet.
What is the announcement dates?
I don't know, but it should be within the next 30 days.
Yeah,
maybe even
sometime in
weeks.
June, usually right before what used to be the Microsoft Inspire conference, which is now moved online to, MS Start for partners.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So if I think about how do you get to that very top and how do you become a pinnacle partner, there's a few things. So we're a marketing agency, and there's this book, Damn Big Ideas.
Damn Big Ideas. I've never heard of this book.
It's a picture book, so it's great.
Okay, I love it.
We give it to everybody at Transcends. And the whole concept in there is that you need to have a big idea. And even if you have a big idea, if you can't land that big idea with your audience, you really don't have a big idea. So when you're going into an award submission, there's a good dose of creativity, and you need to have that damn big idea. So I think about one of our early wins was this tiny partner, and I was providing coaching around setting expectations. A finalist would be an out of this world achievement. And the story that we ended up telling, if I think to that opening line or paragraph, was something like, this hospice was the only hospice in the state of Tennessee that was able to maintain continuity of care for end-of-life patients during COVID-19.
Wow.
And they were able to maintain this continuity of care because nurses were enabled with modern endpoint management on their mobile devices to go into patients' homes and to care for them there.
Fascinating.
And that story, that emotional pull of that story is an essential ingredient in having a winning submission, or even a winning brand, something that really wakes people up and gets their attention. That's how I think of this damn big idea.
I love that. I love damn big idea. It ties in so perfectly to what we talk about with being in that shiny quarter, in the bucket full of shiny quarters. Like, how do you stand out as a Microsoft partner? For those who are watching and listening today, it's hard, right? There's 500,000 partners in the Microsoft ecosystem. There are maybe a handful, maybe a couple thousand that are managed, and then all the others that want to become managed, and all the others that want the attention of the field organization. So how do you help them get there with this damn big idea?
So a damn big idea is a necessary ingredient. Part of that might be your better together story. There's some buzzwords for you.
Yep.
The second thing is the metrics matter. You have to do the work.
Yes.
And we get acronym crazy here,
Well, they're going to check the numbers.
They're going to check the numbers. It's one of the first things they're going to do is check the numbers. Part of your visibility, your opportunity to share your damn big idea is often predicated on those numbers being there.
That's right.
So whether those are Azure revenue consumption, again, all the acronyms, the MAU, the PRACR, the MAC agreements, all of these things matter tremendously. And sometimes partners even have this success, but maybe just aren't even recording it. So there's a whole data hygiene exercise in this. The last one I would say is teamwork. Actually, at an Ultimate Partner event, because you're so amazingly well connected with the ecosystem and you really do help spark the ecosystem. I was on stage with Annie Martin, go-to-market leader in the US for Microsoft.
Yes, we love Annie, by the way. Annie, hope you're listening today.
And one of the things that she talks about in terms of success, and this has proved very true for us, is multidisciplinary teams. You need to have the right seats at the table, and those are going to be people from across the organization. So when we're weaving powerful winning stories, we need the input. For one single client this year, we conducted nearly 100 internal interviews with hundreds, most likely. There's usually multiple people in each interview, with hundreds of people.
Wow.
In order to surface the data stories, the emotional stories, to get an accurate read of what's actually going on. So multidisciplinary.
I didn't
teams.
realize there was this much involved in this process. It's fascinating to me.
We have writers, we have project managers, we have editors, we have designers, we have multimedia producers, because oftentimes in this storytelling, it's multidimensional formats these days. I mean, just like the success you're having with the podcast, it's video, it's PDFs.
Absolutely. So you're producing videos on behalf of, you're doing maybe white papers, you're doing all of these elements, pulling all these elements together for the client.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's peel back. Okay, there's the process that you take them through. What's the core? What's the essentials? Like, we had these pinnacle partners up on stage, 3 organizations that we all know and care about, Elastic, Integral, BDO, award-winning partners each. What do you think it takes to be one of those award-winning partners? What separates them?
What I loved about the panel yesterday is it showcased a lot of diversity. So we had a global ISV partner, we had a global services advisory partner, and we had a founder-led high growth business.
Yes.
And just like my opening story around modern endpoint management in this hospice in Tennessee, you don't have to be the biggest. However, the advantage of being the biggest is that you tend to have those metrics. What you need if you're not the biggest is still a strong numbers story, but in your particular niche.
Yes.
And I think one of the things that Dexter from Integral, who was on the panel yesterday, one of the things that he does so well is he knows exactly who his audience is. Precisely. And he has gone after that like a ninja. So I think that that's incredibly important. If we're talking about larger partners, part of it is understanding the vision and where you want to place your strategic bets with Microsoft. So there's dozens of categories. I think not including regional award wins, you're looking at maybe 60-ish categories for Microsoft Partner of the Year. You need to really choose where you're going to put your time and effort to get those wins and finalists.
You know where your strong suit is, I guess is what I would say.
That's exactly it.
So let's talk about, I always talk about these tectonic shifts, right? We remark on all that's been going on right now in the world. Geopolitically, a time like no other, I would say. Since COVID, we talked about COVID and the acceleration of technology. The dominant role of the hyperscalers, marketplaces in the forefront, right? Some of the award submissions I believe you've done or been around marketplace winners like Elastic. What are you seeing now that you didn't expect to see? What would you comment about this time?
We haven't touched on AI. AI.
I was leaving that for you.
Thank you. I was chatting with Jay McBain yesterday before he went up on your stage to have a conversation with you. And I asked Jay about the impact of AI, and he summarized it perfectly. He said, AI is everything.
Wow.
And I am thinking, from the moment I wake up in the morning, how can I, as a business leader myself, transform my own company with AI? And we've been talking about crafting award-winning stories for our clients. A huge part of that now is how do we gain efficiencies internally with the use of AI. So even within the last few months, we've been using, people might think actually, especially as a marketing agency, generative AI, that we're using it to produce copy. That's not where we're seeing it today. How we're using AI internally today is creative things like inputting award guidelines and having AI score our submissions and look for gaps and weaknesses in our submissions. We're using AI to summarize hundreds of interviews for data points that we might be missing. With our clients, there's often a massive data ingestion process, particularly if they're a brand new client, but even our existing clients. We're collecting videos, PowerPoint decks, RFPs, all kinds of information. And that ingestion process is expedited massively. To give a real world example, we used to have a full-time person dedicated just to doing the ingestion of assets, so of content that our clients are providing to us.
The research work, basically.
The research work. And we have automated and then innovated that process tremendously with AI.
So it's really streamlined your business. It's made you more effective and efficient, right?
Absolutely.
Your efficacy rate has gone up dramatically, I guess is what I would say.
That's absolutely it. And we're looking beyond that now too. We're building our own tech internally. That's been a big initiative for 2024, thinking about the future. How do we continue to scale and maintain our competitiveness? So we're very fortunate, and I still can't believe it myself sometimes, who some of our clients are. They're incredibly inspirational, and to get to work alongside those business leaders challenges me personally every day in my work. And what we get a window into is how some of these Fortune 500 companies are using AI themselves, working alongside, for example, the top partners who have deployed Copilot, how companies are using OpenAI services and ChatGPT. And I'm trying to figure out what's the right size fit for an organization like Transcends Marketing.
I can't wait to hear more about this. You have to come back to the podcast and tell us more about this platform you're building, because
I just like hanging out with you, Vince.
I love it.
Anytime.
I love it. And we're going to be talking about how we're going to utilize it to help streamline people accessing all of the great content that we have in the podcast, right? We have over 220 episodes, maybe 230 by the time we go live. And there's so much great content about what it takes to be an award-winning partner, principles of successful partnering, just so much great content. So we're hoping to use AI to our benefit as well there. It's important to me that the supplements that I take are of the highest quality. And that's why for over 7 years now, I've been drinking AG1. Unlike many supplement brands, and believe me, I've tried many of them, AG1 is consistently looking for ways to do things better. At 52 iterations of their formula and counting, their team is always finding ways to make AG1 even better. Quality for AG1 isn't just a buzzword. It's a commitment backed by expert-led scientific research, high-quality ingredients, industry-leading manufacturing, and rigorous testing. At every step of the process, AG1 goes above and beyond industry standards. I know I can trust what's in every scoop of AG1 because the team relies on expert-led scientific research, sourcing ingredients for potency and efficacy. Taking care of my health shouldn't be complicated, and that's why I rely on AG1, because it simplifies this by covering all of my nutritional bases and setting me up for success every single day. AG1's ingredients are heavily researched for efficacy and quality, and I love that every scoop also includes important prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes for my gut health. So if you want to replace your multivitamin and more like I have, start with AG1. Try AG1 and get a 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and 5 free travel packs with your first subscription. Go to drinkag1.com/VinceM. That's drinkag1.com/VinceM. Check them out. So I'd love to pivot. As you might know from listening to other episodes, I'm fascinated with how people got here. And one of the ways, I'm gonna start that next question over again. So Mike, forget this next one. So Ash, I'd love to pivot. I have a favorite question I love to ask each of my guests. And you're hosting a dinner party, and you can host this dinner party anywhere in the world. You tell us where your favorite place might be to do that. And you can invite any 3 guests from the present or the past. One person even picked guests from the future to be at this amazing dinner party. Whom would you invite and why?
Big question. I love hosting dinner parties, first of all.
Can we talk about menu as well?
My brother's a chef. No, going back to my vision of helping 1 billion people feel more connected, connecting people is really at the core for me. And so when I think of a dinner party with 3 people, I'm going to celebrate the women. I would love to do a ladies' night dinner. And at that dinner table, our value again of conscious connection. I would think about people like Jeannie Rometty, the former CEO, chairperson of IBM.
Yep.
I just finished her book, Good Power. It speaks so closely to that balance between competitiveness and truly creating impact in the world. I think of Gwyneth Paltrow, who is out there with this brand Goop. She's doing different things and really seeking to activate people with methodologies that are maybe a little off the wall at times, but looking at health and wellness, yoga, meditation.
Yep.
And she has turned that into a tremendous business empire. And then I think about Brene Brown, vulnerability, leadership. I think that would be a conversation I would certainly not want to miss.
It sounds like a fascinating dinner. Can I come along and bring a beverage or maybe dessert?
You definitely can, Vince. Ally.
So where are we having this dinner party? We didn't touch on that yet.
Well, as you know, I love spending time in New Zealand.
Yes, I do know that.
Queenstown has become really the place for me. The mountains are just gorgeous there, the landscapes. And I find being in nature really allows freedom of thought, new possibilities.
I love that. Okay, so we'll be in Queensland for this dinner party. I'll bring dessert. How's that?
Great.
All right, terrific. So before we go, for our listeners and viewers today, I mean, I can't believe we're already on the second half of 2024. This year has just flown by. I was just wishing you Happy New Year just the other day, it feels like. What advice or guidance do you have for all of our amazing listeners and viewers, all trying to achieve their greatest results working with the Microsoft ecosystem or just within the hyperscaler ecosystem in general on achieving their best business success in this second half of the year?
Have a clear vision.
Have a clear vision. That's so simple.
Sitting at dinner last night, you connected me with Christine from the WIT Network.
Yes.
And her and I had this incredible conversation around bucket lists. I think my bucket list is up to probably 400 items now. I've been doing it for about 10 years. And what has become really apparent to me is how important it is to set goals and have a vision. And even today, walking into rooms with CEOs, we're often setting priorities and a vision for the alliances that they have with hyperscalers. And that vision really starts at the top of the organization.
Yes, it does. We talk about it all the time at Ultimate Partner.
You do, actually. Exactly. That's one of the reasons, many reasons we work so well together. You walk into a room and you land that point. It's so incredibly important.
Have a clear vision. Have a clear vision from Ashleigh. Ashleigh, so great to have you in the studio. So great that you came to Boca Raton.
Thank you.
You're jetting all over the world. One day you're in Italy, the next day you're in Queensland, the next day you're in Seattle, the next day you're in Boca Raton. So great to have you here as a guest on Ultimate Guide to Partnering.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you for joining the Ultimate Guide to Partnering. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our new YouTube channel.
Thanks again for listening to this episode of Ultimate Guide to Partnering. If you've been following our work, you know that Ultimate Partner has a unique voice, grounded in the tectonic shifts and the role of the hyperscalers. If you're ready to accelerate your own success, then I want to personally invite you to join the Ultimate Partner Experience. Whether you're a Microsoft, Google Cloud, or Amazon partner, we're here to help you thrive. We bring you cutting-edge insights, expert advice, and unparalleled networking opportunities through our exclusive media, podcasts, live and digital events, and educational resources. In this time of tectonic shifts, staying ahead of the curve is more critical than ever. The pace of innovation is accelerating at an ever-increasing rate, and you can't rely on others for your own success. Now's the time to seize control and shape your destiny. Come join Ultimate Partner Community. Come join Ultimate Partner Experience, where we bring you the top industry leaders, groundbreaking content, and a support network that's dedicated to your success. Visit our website at joinupx.com and become part of the Ultimate Partner Experience. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Let's innovate, grow, and succeed together.